bedtime.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everyone? This is a Three Headed Monster podcast coming to you live once again with some teaching moments. Um, I'm Brother Brian, 1/3 of the Three Headed Monster. Um, we're gonna bring some. We know how we stay on this Indigenous history moment that we've been doing. So this phase that we're doing. So it's gonna be interesting, very interesting. I hope everybody tunes in, like, share, and you know, show us some love. Show us some love. So today we got Crew Cut that's gonna be on today. Crew Cut, what's good, man? Oh, he ain't got his headset on. All right. Well, Jerome, what's going on, man? What's up?
What's up, bro? Everything's good. Just doing the little share thing right now. You know how we do.
Oh, okay, okay. Crew Cut, what's going on, man? Talk to me. Crew Cut, is it plugged in?
Nah,
He got his own stuff on
he's
here.
muted. He's muted.
He muted himself.
That's what I'm saying. He's muted.
Mic check 1, 2.
Yeah. We good now. What's up, Crew Cut?
What's good with y'all? Everything good?
Everything
Yeah.
good, man.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, B. I'll be finished in a second.
No, we just want to, touch on some, because we, this Black History Month, which, black means nothing. Black has no shape, no color, no power. So we consider ourselves indigenous. And that's where we're going to be, and that's where we're going to stay at as indigenous. So we're going to break a little history because when you start off with the whole Black history movement, what do you hear? The first thing they talk about is slavery and us coming here from Africa. And we've been proven time after time that we was already here. But, some people don't know. Some people don't want to know because they still want to take, their lessons from people that enslaved us or took our lands, took all our resources, and turn around and teach you the narrative of who you are. Um, that's something that we just not going to do. So we at least try to do our part by showing you history. And I think this is where we about to show you that we wasn't a bunch of weak people. We wasn't a bunch of we sitting in picking cotton or picking tobacco or whatever sources that we created that they turn around and took from us, and we're going to get started on a series of rebellions. I mean, we already talked about King Philip's War. We have shown you plenty of rebellions that happened, but we're going to go a little bit deeper, get a little bit down south. So I know we're going to start off a series, and I know we're going to get into the Gully Wars. A lot of people don't know about it. Some people don't know about it. But we got the Crew Cut with us, and the Crew Cut gonna put it in. Him and Jerome gonna go in. So, Jerome, take it over. Do your thing. Do your swag.
What's up, Facebook family? What's up, YouTube family? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like, drop a comment. As always, don't believe anything that we tell you. You hear, you take it, you go research it, find the truth for yourself. You come back. Let's build and go forward from there. Um, yeah, this is real interesting when you talk about indigenous people here in America and the narrative that has been spent on what indigenous people look like. You have a set thought when you hear Indian or you hear indigenous, and it's not. people that look like you. So hopefully we can open up some people's eyes a little more uh, and change the narrative just a little bit so we can get some truth into it. Uh, what's up, Coach?
What's good with you?
I can't call it.
Well, I say SSDD around here.
Yeah, break that down. Break that down.
What do you
Same
say? What do you
shit,
say?
same shit, different day.
Oh,
so,
SSDD.
so let me do this, B.
go ahead.
Let me frame it just a little bit.
Frame it up, man.
So we're going to start in the early 1700s. So, as you've been taught, um, how America was formed and how America was brought to be by these foreign immigrants that came over. Um, but they came over and the land was free and clear. And, they got to set up shop and, do whatever they want because they were there by themselves until they brought over these Africans. And these Africans, once they came over, were willing to work for free and take the occasional beating and just lay down and do whatever they were told to do. That's the narrative that you've been taught all your life. But we're about to change the narrative. So
That's what
who
they
want
want
to
you to
start it
believe.
off?
Crew cut, what you got, bro? What you got for me, crew cut? What you got for me?
Oh, just went to find all I could find on this rebellion. Let me see. This one they was working with the British. They say about 20 Africans raided a store near Wallace Creek, a branch of the Stono River, taking guns and other weapons. They killed two shopkeepers. The rebels marched south toward promised freedom in Spanish Florida. That's what they call freedom, Florida. Waving flags, beating drums, and shouting liberty. So now they saying 20 that this don't make no sense. We talking about 20 people, right? Walking, shouting, screaming freedom from North Carolina all the way to
Florida.
Florida. You believe that? They played the drums all the way to Florida.
Break it down.
No, I'm just saying, do that even sound logical to you? First of all, just think about how far it is from North Carolina to Florida.
Right.
That's 7, 8 hour drive still.
So walking, you mean to tell me we were screaming and shouting for days, like probably a week, 2 week walk?
That's
Right.
longer than a 2 week walk.
8 hour drive is by what?
I mean when you say eight
You
hour
say
walk,
8 hour drive is about what? 8 hours?
About a week walking.
Are you talking about a walk?
mm,
Hmm.
Yeah, at least.
So folks got tired, and folks wasn't screaming and letting folks know what they was doing.
Right.
I don't believe that, because if so, they had to fight to get through Georgia to even get to Florida. But this is supposed to be one of the first rebellions and hearings about going to Spanish Florida, 1739. I
Right.
guess that's when it was already. I guess this when the word was getting out that hey, if you get down here, you can fight for freedom, for liberty,
Right.
basically. But every time I hear liberty, um, first thing you think about is to be freed from bondage, liberty. Um, so they saying all Africans. My thing was this: when you look at this and you start reading this stuff and you start going through the wars, the authors who's writing today's articles on these things always say African American. But
Right.
when you go back and read, as you start digging, and they start showing the true accounts of the handwritings, and then they'll write down what they said. All of it be black, Negro, mostly Negro. You don't hear no African nowhere in that language period. And my thing was, out of all that speaking, why no one said, "Oh, these Africans is some great slaves," or "We're gonna send you Negroes back to Africa." You don't hear none of that. I'm just saying you don't like that's something that you hear in the 1900s or the 20th century, but in the 17th, 18th, 19th century, that's almost unheard of.
And that's facts. And a lot of people need to understand that a lot of the slave narrative didn't come into the 1900s. So where would it, that's a whole different segment of when it comes to it. So like you said, if you saying 20 Africans did what they did, going from plantation to plantation, from North Carolina all the way down to Florida.
I mean, you got up to a couple of thousand. You got thousands of slaves by now. If you went from South Carolina, oh no, and then on top of that, remember, if we coming from North Carolina, you going through South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
the cities in South Carolina was predominant Negro over the slave masters. Like they had to make a law. It was like they wouldn't let no slave master have no more than 10 slaves at a time. You see what I'm saying? Because the whole town was full of Negroes. It was only a handful of slave masters.
Facts. Oh,
That's
peace out to Melissa, and also peace out to Carbon King. What's up, Jeremy? But go ahead, my bad. Keep on, crew
And
cut.
Alex is on.
Alex is on.
He was the first one.
Oh, he didn't pop up. All right, my bad, my bad. Yeah, we already had a troll already. I don't know what the hell that was, but my bad. But you're right though, because if you saying we walking,
Mhm.
and you know how we was always told, to follow the northern star to go north,
Mhm.
and now we hearing that they was going down south.
Yeah, they're going south.
Of
What
course.
the, you know what I'm saying? What's going on with this narrative? Because we always hear about us trying to flee to Canada. Now we seeing people from North Carolina making their way down to Florida. So
Mhm.
something don't sound right. And
Making
I,
me
I would have went to
down.
Florida too. I would have went to Florida.
Hey, here's the thing. This will clear it up for you,
uh,
and it'll make a lot of sense to you.
uh,
So, um, during that time in the United States, slavery was legal, correct?
Right.
All right. When Spanish territories, slavery was illegal.
Okay.
So it'd be easier to go down south into a territory where slavery is illegal. That's why a lot of indigenous blacks went to Mexico. It's
Mhm.
because the Spanish territories slavery was illegal.
And also, most of, I hate to say it, but a lot of us come from that way in the first place.
Oh, right, right, right. From our Olmec heritage.
Hmm. And they said them folks just up and disappeared. When they got there, it was nobody there.
Yeah, just like the Mayans.
they just
Nobody
disappeared.
there.
They just
Yeah,
disappeared.
Right. So niggas
they
know
just
how to
left
get the hell
everything.
on. If from what I see is through history show, niggas know how to get the hell on.
But I mean, but we
Right.
hearing, and this is something that I had to really break down to my son, is the whole slave notion has been force fed to us
Whoa.
so much. And you got to understand, when somebody's trying to feed you something, They hide in something else. And the fact is, we're noticing that the lie is constantly unraveling. Everybody keep talking about, oh, Lincoln freed the slaves. Lincoln's hands was forced
Right.
Of
because
course. Of course
Right.
they was forced. I have a video with a 94-year-old man from up the street. We asked when was the first time he heard of slavery. You know what that man told me?
never.
Roots.
And then
I'm
you see
serious.
how Roos was pushed out there. Roos
Oh
was
yeah.
heavy.
Right. Because it was once they found out that it was fake, okay, the black society was like, yo, this piece is so deep. They begged for it to stay on the air, even if it was proved to be plagiarized.
Right. What?
And, go
Here's an
ahead.
interesting thing. Is
Go ahead.
that for me, I'm deep into the wordplay, right?
Yeah.
So, slave, slave, slavery, slave, slavery. But think about it: a slave had chains on them. A
A
slave
slave
doesn't
what?
need chains because a slave already has a mindset to where they won't run. A
You
slave
know,
is a slave is like, I'm with it. However you want to treat me, that's fine. But prisoners of war, you have to put chains on.
yeah, oh,
Prisoners
yeah.
of war, you have to chase down with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Prisoners of war, you have to keep encamped.
Yeah.
Prisoners of
True.
war, you have to threaten. I'm gonna kill your kids if you don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they did was in Cullen, they already had more blacks than whites. The assembly who imposed a prohibitive duty on the importation of new slaves from Africa and the West Indies. See, that's what they was doing. They was sending them over there to West Indies. They couldn't do nothing with them over here. And it was bringing folks from the West Indies over here, which is still all Americans at the end of the day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
used to
called,
take the Africans to the Caribbeans, and that's
yeah,
where they would break them at. They would break them in the Caribbeans. Um, that's why I don't know if you deal with or talk to anybody that's like Jamaican, anybody from Jamaica. There's a reason why uh, they're so against homosexuality, and it's because there was a lot of breaking of slaves in the
hmm
islands.
hmm
There was a lot of misconduct that happened to our people. So yeah,
So that would be the first event that they written down would be what's this 1739, the Stoner Rebellion. Well,
Yeah.
that was shape a lot to what happened in the Gully Wars,
right,
because now it's starting to get to the White House, saying they starting to get reports of niggas out of control down there that they can't do nothing with them, and then that also people are losing their slaves that's running to go to fight for the Spanish down in Florida to be free.
Yeah, because I think right now
but
they saying it was like over 400 slaves and they defeated 12,000 military soldiers. In other
Oh
yeah,
no,
words,
I ain't read that one yet.
yeah,
uh,
what you talking about? When Andrew Jackson wanted to come down and get some reparation
Hold
or
on,
some
you're going too
retribution
far.
for what
Next,
had happened in Georgia
yeah,
in
but
one of the
y'all going too
wars.
far.
my bad, my bad, my bad. All right.
Y'all skipping the gun. Let me go over here. Okay, right here, the overlooked reason slavery ended. Right. Okay, so this what the niggas look like right here. This is the depiction of what they said the niggas look like. Um, this supposed to be niggas looking, but anyway, here we go. Let me get it back up
He
here.
said that's supposed to be niggas.
The Stoner
But
Rebellion. Then next, the Gully, which could the
y'all jumping ahead about 100 years though. But go ahead.
oh, we're going from 1739 to what? 1812, 1840. What we supposed to be going to?
Ain't that Lincoln's picture right there?
Who cares
Oh yeah,
about
no,
Lincoln?
no, no, we're going right here.
They got to put it up there to make it seem like a sign.
saying time periods.
Okay, the Battle of the Horseshoe Man. 1814 in Alabama, where they cut up down there. Oh, they cut up. I can blow this up so y'all can see it more.
There go Andrew Jackson.
Fucking
Mm-hmm.
fag.
Let me see,
Oh,
but this was with the Creek. This was with the Creek Indians. And see, most of the Upper Creek fought, and that was the biggest problem. That the Englishman would go and get some of us to go hunt us down, or go get some of us to. So basically, we was just fighting ourselves. We really wasn't fighting them. They would go scout out some Indians and get the Indians to go hunt us down for them. So it wasn't like they was out here getting folks on their own. Then also, last week I went to go get my genealogy done, and the man told me, say, hey, he haven't ran by no creeks nowhere in the history of doing genealogy, which was kind of odd to me.
seriously?
Huh?
You serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. And the man was old. He was in his 80s, like late 70s, early 80s. He was real old.
Words, man. That's how they control.
Oh, also, yeah, I see. Yeah, we did skip because we forgot about the Louisiana Rebellion of 1768.
Oh, yeah. That started a lot of this, too.
And you got to
So,
think, like when you said Creek, right? Creek, Cherokee, uh, what were they a part of? The 5 civilized tribes that the government would deal with. I mean,
I
them are
mean, you got
just made up words.
No,
That's
they,
free your
they didn't
mind.
just automatically was with the 5. They didn't automatically just join the 5 civilized tribes, because all those band of tribes had to come together to become one of those. And a lot of them did a lot of infighting. Like the Creeks did a lot of infighting. The Upper Creeks versus the Lower Creeks, they fought a lot. And then let me see. That's because they was using the Upper Creeks, and it says it right here in this 1814 Horseshoe Band. Um, let me see. Engulfed the Creek nations, divided one strong tribe into two stratified factions. The Lower Creek, who were generally pro-American, and the Upper Creek, who resisted American interference with their traditional way of life. So the Upper Creek was like, yo, we want to keep living the way we've been living. The Lower Creek, like, yo, let's upgrade and start kicking with these folks over here. They was giving them guns and stuff. So that's all it really was at the end of the day. They got guns to protect themselves. Let me see. Then they have the numbers over here. Who fought with who? How they got them folks to fight with them? 1814. This one, Jackson wasn't the president. This is when he.
He was
he's
still
a,
General Jackson.
he's a
Right.
general.
And they fought the Red Sticks, which would be Lower Creeks.
Like I
No, the
said,
Red
it's a
Sticks.
lot of rebellions. It's a lot of rebellions. I
Well, it
mean,
was hundreds.
There was
It was hundreds
hundreds
of
of
them.
rebellions.
Yeah,
thousands.
and they didn't even write them all. A lot of them didn't get notarized because they didn't want to be shown that they was weak. That they couldn't do nothing with these niggas. That was the first thing. They did not want to show that they couldn't do nothing with Negroes. Excuse my French.
You know, if you look at anything, the biggest part of media is having the ability to control it, right? So
Facts.
what stories do they tell you? Nat Turner, right? And we get
Yep.
all G'd up thinking about Nat Turner. You know, he killed a few people, but
What
ultimately,
about
what happened to his rebellion? It was squashed, and he was
no?
hung.
Like this
Right?
one right here. Do you think this one was real? What's his name? Denmark Vesey.
Then Mark Vesey, that's South Carolina,
That's
and
South Carolina.
that's like the
But the thing,
largest.
but the thing was, they
He
trying
got
to say
sold
like,
out.
but wait a minute. This is what I was saying. This is what I was saying earlier. I even wrote it down. Okay, was that just a scared tactic? Okay, let's put it out there, the niggas that they was gonna do something, and we caught the ones that was gonna do it, and we murdered them all in front of
Right.
everybody. Now, if you do it,
Right.
we're gonna do the same to you.
Exactly.
So that's why I said they're trying to say because there's no proof that this even really happened.
There's
Right.
no really
Because
proof about even the Nat Turner. Nat Turner is still questionable.
See,
well,
that's the
they
thing.
say
Listen, the ones that you hear about were the one that got quailed, right?
Hmm.
So if there
uh,
were hundreds of rebellions, why you never
Hmm.
hear about the other 98?
Like I said, when it came to the rebellion of Louisiana, which let me see if I could pull that one up, you can show that they almost took the whole state back, but you had a couple people that kind of wasn't cool with it. Again, you always
you
have
talking
enemies
about the
within
Denmark
your
Vesey.
community. You always gonna
Listen,
have,
man.
huh?
You got
So
listen. Go ahead.
you got
No, because you're
34
always gonna have
slaves.
enemies in your camp, so you can't tell everybody your moves.
But wait a minute,
I
wait a
get
minute,
that.
wait a minute, wait a minute. You got 34 slaves that were supposed to be responsible for that upbringing of thousands of Negroes to buck, right? Supposed to be 34 slaves that they went and captured and executed. But
Hmm.
as you keep going, how because testimonies about the plans for the revolt from Vesey himself cannot be found. Historians have been left to draw conclusions about the event from the testimonies of people who knew him, leading modern day scholars to question whether a detailed plan for such a rebellion even existed. As with many investigations of conspiracies, experts are skeptical of the quality of and reliability of evidence, especially if it was extracted under stress. So basically, like I said, this could have been just pushed out there to kind of push the narrative of we're gonna kill your black ass if you try to get because it had to be a scare tactic because every major city in America is almost like a plantation. It's more Negroes in the city than it is any white people. And if you go to Chicago, it's twice as many Negroes, especially on the south side. Go to Baltimore, ain't nothing but Negroes. Come to Atlanta, ain't nothing but Negroes. So then
Washington, D.C.
nothing but Negroes. So then that means some type of fear had to be put in place for Negroes to stay together and not uprising. You got 6 million Negroes and you got 100 police officers or 1,000 police officers suppressing million Negroes. This is retarded. This is retarded because people don't see that we are the power is in us. But because of stories like this, Denmark Vesey is the reason why we're fearful to act out and buck back.
Of course.
So, what else? I mean, because South Carolina, North Carolina, no, South Carolina, Georgia is very big when it comes to us holding down the front before we even get to so-called Florida, Spanish Florida. Let's say Spanish Florida because it's owned by the Spanish.
Right?
So when we talk about the Gilly Wars, we talk about especially in the Charleston area where everybody swears all us people of color came through, the slave ports through all that, not knowing that we was already there. I'm
Duh,
from South Carolina. Drones from North Carolina.
those
All my
ports was
roots,
closed, bro, because they had a Negro problem.
yeah, because all of my family is from South Carolina on both sides of my family.
Mm.
We are ground rooted in South Carolina, from basically from Columbia all the way up to spent most of the Union, South Carolina area, all the way up to the Cherokee. I mean, I grew up in Cherokee County. Our mascot is the Indian. So that means a lot of us are indigenous Cherokee. And a lot of people got to understand it's about 20, 25 different tribes that was in South Carolina. But, nobody like to do their research and find out, because you never know who your family's part of or whatever, whatever. But the way, oh, he done pulled up another map.
Oh, go
But
ahead.
but just to show you the force and the power of a handful of people. can change the history that they try to erase and try to cover up. What you got up there now?
Thomas Jessup,
Thomas who?
1814. Horse band, the Horseshoe Band. This when they was fighting for it. He said, "This you be assured that this is a Negro war and not an Indian war." That's 1814.
Right. And that
That's what he
that
was
letter
telling.
was to Washington.
Right, he sent it to. I got the letter right here. Um, where is it? Where is it? Coming to my. I just had the letter. Okay, but what he was saying was in that letter was he was letting them know, like, hey, them niggas that ain't is more. He's saying that the Negroes had much influence over the Spanish. So it's
Right.
supposed to be a Spanish colony, but when they got there, they ain't seen nothing but a whole bunch of niggas. Whole bunch of niggas. So the Spanish might have supposedly owned the land, but the niggas ran the land. But
Facts.
they couldn't do nothing with them. And let me see, we were showing them what was going on.
No, because I mean, who knows the land better than the people that grew up in the land?
Oh
But
man,
see,
I can't find it.
that's the whole point of like what I was saying, slavery being illegal in Spanish colonies, right? Or
Hmm.
Spanish territories. So when the people that were there didn't live like slaves because they didn't have to. So what this general was saying, what he was sending back is that, they can organize down here.
Mm-hmm.
They won't move like scared people. They'll move like an army. And if we don't get on top of this right now, they'll
It's
start
over.
moving upwards.
They saying the next season we won't be able to do nothing with them, basically.
Nothing with them. They'll be an army,
Mm-hmm.
and they will overrun us.
I
Which
know.
which they already knew that that was happening, but at the same time,
Who already knew?
they knew the complications of what was going on.
Who is they? Who are you talking about?
The Europeans, because
Oh, here it is, right?
I can't because I mean I'm not gonna say white folks because at that time frame the word white wasn't even nothing anyway. But that's a whole
Right.
different. So I would say Europeans that came over and found certain ways to manipulate us and doing these fake treaties and taking our land. You
I
know,
mean, right. And see, that's the reason people don't understand how the money moves, right? That's the
Mhm.
reason they purchased Florida from Spain. Not because they wanted to expand the United States, it's because Spanish territories, slavery was illegal. So if you purchase it and it becomes your territory, then your laws are the same laws that can be enacted in that territory.
and I'm still in my mind thinking, how the hell they had money to purchase land? The damn country wasn't even built yet, and they still purchasing land. It's
Well,
still illegal.
The Indian didn't think that it was actually selling the soil. They was just paying for occupies to occupy the land, not to actually buy the land. You see what I'm saying? They was like, "There's no way you can buy the land, so we'll take this what you're giving us, these wampons, for you staying here for a little while." You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it's just kind of
they
funny how language is such a big part of division amongst people of color with the when it comes to the black and brown. If you want to say the black and brown or the Hispanics, which are us, just a lighter
no,
shade. Uh oh. Uh
no,
oh.
no,
No. No.
no.
Okay. Break it
Conquistadors
down. Tell
came.
me why you say no.
Conquistadors came, and when they came, they conquered, and that
Hmm.
what you call Mexico is now home to Spaniards. Okay, those
Yes,
that
but
ain't
who
got
was
nothing.
there though?
Oh, we was there. But when they got there, right, most of the people was gone. Where they go? I told you the nigga a good runner.
So you saying we moved up north? We migrated.
Yeah,
This
of
they
course.
migrated.
And the ones
Hey,
that didn't migrate was killed.
that that Battle of Swanee
Uh-huh.
is about
Yep.
three down. You highlight that one?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Oh, okay.
We still got to get to 1818. I was gonna go to 1816. The Battle of Negro Fort. If anybody heard of that one, um, yeah, I sat down and read every last one of these. I'm sorry, I was on it today. So this is the Negro Fort, and it was a leftover fort after they had lost a battle. The Spanish had left, and the Negro had took over the fort. All the guns and everything that was there, the Negroes took hold of, and the surrounding communities would feed them, would send them food and stuff, and the Negro would protect them, make sure when nothing happened to them. And it got bigger and bigger to where it was just Negroes coming from everywhere going to this fort, and they would rather fight, they would rather die than to be capped, to be um, to be slaves again. And as I was reading it, it was like, okay, just like now, when white folks see something they don't like that we're doing, they go call the police and be like, yo, da 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 da. And the police be like, yo, don't do nothing. And then the white man take it upon himself to do something any goddamn way. What's the brother name that lost his life over some Skittles and a Arizona tea? Just using it as an
Oh,
example.
Trayvon Martin.
Right. When the police lady told him, say, hey, don't do nothing to him, the police is dispatched, they coming out, and he took matters in his own hand. Well, what this situation is when Jackson, this what really blew Jackson up right here. Because they was writing him and telling him what was going on, and they was told not to do anything. Actually, the White House didn't care nothing about a little fort with Negroes in it in Spanish Florida. They really didn't care too much about it. And uh, to break a long story short, Jackson went down there anyway. Um,
Yeah, he did what he wasn't supposed to do. But
yeah, and he
That's because of what happened in Georgia.
well, yeah, but I'm talking about this was in Florida, I believe.
no,
Yeah,
no, no,
But
no.
the
I
that's why he
mean,
went to Florida.
but the big thing to that was because he had just defeated the Red Sticks, which would be a big tribe of Indians in Georgia, and
ancestors.
they hit these folks a couple of times and they wasn't able to do nothing with them. Uh, but then, like I said, they sent the only way they was able to really deal with them is they sent Indians went down there and got them. They hunted them down. They used us to get them more niggas, Negroes. And the reason why I say Negro because once you look in the old dictionary, Negro was in reference to American Indian. I think I posted that. What was that yesterday? Cause people like, why he keep saying Negro? I don't like that term.
But I mean, but at the same time, I mean, that's how they labeled us. And I mean, for I know I don't like using it. I don't even like to use the word black. But at the same time, to get to a level where other people can understand, sometimes we have to, I'm not saying we dumbing it down, but at the same time, we're what's the word I'm looking for? We just breaking it down, so you can understand where we're coming from. Because again, black means nothing. Black holds no
But
power.
but I mean, we just say what you just said. We use these certain words so people can, have a familiarity of what they know. But it's all the English language anyway. So
Hmm.
you throw it out from the beginning. So it don't really matter what words you use. Uh, whatever associates the thought, that's what we use. Um, I mean, it's all English anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, look what the English did. They make us, you know, we lose our language. Hey, if you get a chance, man,
We communicate. The only way me and you ever have communicated is in a foreign language.
that is true.
But check this out. So
Where we at? Where we at?
I'm still on the this is what I wanted to get at.
You at the fort.
So yeah, supposedly one of them boats pulled up and shot a cannon over there, and a cannon landed in the ammo room with the gunpowder and stuff like that, the powder
Yeah.
magazine,
Yeah.
and the
That's
explosion
accuracy,
blowed
baby.
the explosion blowed up and killed everybody in the fort,
That's
women,
accuracy,
children.
right?
No, that was luck. They say it was luck.
That sounds like sabotage.
Mm.
Now that
But
was
who am
everyone
I?
that was inside the fort, but everyone wasn't caught. And they still spent years and years after that capturing gully warriors and sending them back to either their plantation or sending them to the West Indies.
Yo, I need you
So
to pull up. If you get a chance, can you pull up the Battle of Fort St. Charles? 'Cause I
Fort,
mean, you skipped. Yeah, you skipped the big one. They ain't in it. You skipped it.
like you said, it's hundreds of these. These are just the ones we got right. I mean, that I had dug through today. There was no way I was going to dig through all of them.
So if y'all get a chance, check out the like I was saying earlier, Louisiana, one of the biggest slave revolts in Louisiana. It
Now you said
is
what?
Fort
The
St.
battle at
Charles.
where?
St. Charles. Fort St. Charles.
All right.
Because that's 1776. So this is what he's Cajun style. But no, mostly it just
1862.
no
Y'all had plenty of battles then.
1769.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I can pull it up because I got it. I
That's
don't know
right
if
here.
because let me see if I can pull it
I'm
up.
already on it. Let me
You
put it
already
on
on
here.
it?
So yeah, I'm on it. There you go. Let's see.
So I mean, we can just show you every state. What the hell is this shit that keep popping up on YouTube?
Uh, inscriptions. Let me see. October 25th, 1769, under General O'Reilly, Spanish governor of Louisiana, was executed. French patriots and Mars de la. I don't know what that is. We don't speak French or Creole. Um,
You know what? I mean, let me not make to break it up. We got a lot of trolls that's kicking in here, so that means we got to be talking about something that's important.
where the trolls? I don't see no trolls.
Because
Talking
I
about
keep blocked.
Anu.
I done blocked out 3 already.
Oh man, I want you. What you blocking them for?
Ah, they talking stupid shit.
Oh, they talking. They ain't talking about nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sure looking. Well, so I see some red coats. The blue
They're
coats
not
is
gonna. My bad. They ain't gonna show you no real pictures because they was getting their ass handed to them.
of course. You know they not. $1769. The Pennamite Wars. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. My son was talking to me. See, we got all kinds of wars, but at the same time,
Oh, now that's something else I wanted to say too.
Go
The
ahead.
same time that the Gully Wars was going on, don't think that those was the only Negroes fighting back, because they was bucking in Virginia. They was bucking around this time, all up and down the East Coast. It was a lot of bucking going on. Niggas wasn't hearing it every way, every which of a way. It was to the point that where they passed a law that made the white masters carry their guns with them to church on Sundays. That was a law because they knew that we was bucking. We was bucking.
What you got, Jerome? Talk to me. You done found something,
Yeah.
Jerome?
Oh no. I was
I gotta get
waiting
to the
for us to
source.
hit that place so we can go in.
Talking about right here at the Battle of the Swansea.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that. La Swansea is one of the oldest established cities that was in Florida. Um,
But that's Georgia.
No, Swanee.
Yeah. This
Go
is
ahead.
Georgia.
Go
So
ahead. Go
well,
ahead.
I mean, at the territory at the time that it was in. That's why.
uh,
That's where.
Oh, yeah. How things keep changing in sizes,
see, this
territory
was
wise.
the Battle of Swanee, I think would be what they call Albany today. It was
Oh,
with the
okay.
Chi. I pulled it up. Here it is right here. It was with the Chihad. It was about them Chihads. So what happened was, make a long story short, uh, some Englishmen got into it with some Indians, and I guess they lost. They lost the fight with some Indians. So they went back and got some guys, and they was so mad till they went back and they talked to the governor of Georgia about it. And when they talked to the Georgia governor about it, they told him, say, "Hey, we about to go down here and raid on these Indians." And the governor was like, "Cool." But when they went down there, they harassed the first set of Indians that they could find, and which was the allies to Andrew Jackson. They fought with Andrew Jackson. So they then went through there and killed 10 people, 7 men, uh, a woman, and 2 kids. All right. And now the story then reached all the way up to Andrew Jackson, and now he's condemning them for massacring this town. Now this is the catch, and this is the same thing that goes on right today. The president of the United States, said that they must catch him and he must be sent to prison until the president was satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, they caught this dude, arrested him, found him guilty, and he got free, and he down there in Spanish Florida living free, and nobody ever heard of him ever again. Ain't that some shit?
Right.
So
It's
they
a
ain't
lot
even
of
go looking for him. And then he went to go live happily free with the people that he was going to kill. Ain't that some shit? I think they didn't hear from him because when he got down there, they offed his ass. That's just what I think. That's the reason why nobody ever heard from him ever again. Because he went to enemy's territory to go run. And once they found out who he was, they offed him.
Right.
we're a threat everywhere we go.
Of course. And then after that, and then started the conspiracies of the Denmark Valley. Cause you just gotta look. Out of all these massacres that had happened, and we are already up to 1822. I already skipped 100 massacres already, right?
Right.
And these are just ones that's known about. So now this just shows you that we was some bucking some MFs. We was bucking. We was
We
bucking
some
hard.
serious Jews. And that's the thing that we need to put this notion out. We wasn't a bunch of weak people out
So
here in the
what so what happens is you got warriors now that don't even know what the fuck they worrying about, and they're killing their own because the energy is pushed to kill their own.
Right.
facts.
Because now you took a whole city of niggas in Chicago that's supposed to be gang banging and took them and put them on a path of right and stand to protect their kids and women. Shit, America will have a whole nother tune. a whole nother tune. But as long
That's
as
why
they
they
keep
try
these,
to militarize. That's why they meant. See, what gets me though is the fear. The fear.
Oh,
Because I think Alex talked about it. The fear that they constantly keep pushing is no different than the fear back in doing these rebellions. Because all you
right.
need to do is get one or two people that's part of the plan, get them scared. They're gonna turn because Master gonna say something, and they turn it on everybody else. In other words, out of fear, they turn against the whole group, and that's
Right.
how a lot of these massacres ended because of somebody.
man, somebody went back and told. Or
Somebody always got to go
if
back
did
and tell
nobody
someone.
go tell, they tried to act like somebody went and told and just created a whole story. And so what happened to the people who stands up for themselves, they get murdered in front of everybody. So go on, try and be a badass if you want to. We're gonna kill your ass. And that's the thing with the people down there in Ferguson. All the activists that stood up first and put that thing together, every last one of them was found dead.
Right.
Facts.
So the cycle has not stopped or changed. They're doing the same thing. They're using the same solution for everything.
Because it
But
works.
You got to
it
chop
works
off
to
the
a
head.
certain extent. Like,
You got to
okay,
chop the head.
all right, so you got 400 years of this curse. Now the curse is being broken. So now what's the next trance we can put these niggas under?
I mean,
Because we the
60s.
only set of people that on this whole planet who kill each other at a high number rate as we do. I don't care what nobody say.
Mm, I don't know. Have you looked at them Eastern Europeans?
Oh yeah, of course.
They all
But have you
facing each other.
but have you seen a crime spree on the weekend in Chicago on every weekend when the sun comes out? We talking about 50, 60 shot every fucking weekend. Not some
Right.
Yeah, because I
weekends.
mean, that's a
It's
bunch of
some
people.
weekends it'd be 100 people shot.
I can't
I
speak
hate to
on
work.
Chicago because I ain't never visited Chicago or never really had a chance to
Oh, you in Philly
be.
though? North Philly,
I
West Philly,
mean,
all that shit crazy.
it's crazy because when you put a bunch of people in, how do you say it? When you create a jungle, or you could say you created a atmosphere. Oh, my bad.
What? Did he freeze up?
Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah. So what was you saying about North Chicago? I mean South Side?
It's a war zone right now. And then just to
Right.
think, the parents had to work real hard to get to the South Side. Like if you made it to the South Side back in the day, you made it. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? The West Side was where all the niggas was from, and then the working class moved to the South Side. All those houses right now cost 500,000 to 600,000 a piece. Every building over there is $500,000 to $1,000,000. Now,
Right.
their children, they work to get them every goddamn thing. Is now running around like they coming from the slums and all this other shit when they living in $600,000-700,000 houses,
Right.
tearing down their own goddamn community.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's the mindset, the brainwashing that's been pushed and enforced is working very well. And now they're trying to figure out another way to implement something else because, once you do something for so long, it's going to wear off and folks going to catch on. So you have to switch it up. To switch the game up, my guy.
Yeah, Mr. Alex said true, but majority of the mass shootings don't look like us, Coach. As well as serial killers, mob murders, insurrectionists, which is mad true.
Wait a
Which is
minute, though. every time you got a mass shooting, to me, it's a agenda's being pushed. We need to get rid of the automatic weapons. So what happened in Las Vegas? They had a big mass shooting, but up in the window, just clack clack and shooting away. Only time you have something with us that nuts up, you force our hand to like the brother down there. And I think he was in Dallas that shot the police officers or something like that. It was
Yeah, that was
tired of the injustices that we have. So if you force us enough,
we'll push back.
enough, somebody's gonna say, man, I'm tired of it, and be like, they're at that breaking point. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people not at that breaking point because the government has made it comfortable for them to not be at that breaking point. If I keep these niggas with weed and liquor, nice cars, they know they not gonna rebel. They not gonna buck. Niggas not gonna buck. What they bucking for? I'm giving them the best life that they can have right now. They not gonna buck.
Right. Ryan having problems today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at the end of the day, though, man, we just have to really change their tune. I like this picture right here. It's the picture they had of the Negro with the little skull right here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Look at that hair. That boy got that curly. He got a hair on his face. I was like,
Right.
man, look at this dude.
Right.
Yeah, that look like me.
Almost. He got a jerry curl though.
But I mean, again, this is a series that we're trying to start, and we
Oh yeah,
just
you
gonna
got a
keep
lot to cover. It's a lot to cover.
because this is kind of interesting though. Oh, and these wait a minute.
You
All
got
right,
folks
see,
snitching.
Mr. Alice put this up there.
Oh yeah, 1910. The different massacres that went on. Most of these was over what they call white women cry, white women tears.
Which is a bunch of bullshit because they only use that to give a reason for them to do what they do.
Right.
Or are they saying they have the right because of this? I have the right to defend her, so we can go burn down everything. Wait a minute. Oh, Mister. Oh man, this man going in, Coach.
This is what I was looking for right here. It what Jackson had wrote. Still, you still don't never see nothing about us being Africans. You won't see that. It's just something you're not gonna see.
You don't
Um,
never see it. You never see it. You don't see it into the You don't see it into the 1900s. You never see it into the 1900s.
Here it is. This is what I was talking. Let me blow this up for you right here.
That letter.
Yeah. Well, mostly. Let me see. Here go the letter right here. Let me see. Doo-doo-doo. They ran up on some Indians. Was discovered grazing some cattle. He made them prisoners. He went and got the chief, and they shot the chief 400. They shot him almost 400 times.
Wow.
And the chief was an old man at that. He was real old.
But
But
you know
not
what
no.
happens when you take out the wisdom, though? You take out the elder, everybody else will scatter. Not only that is you catch everybody in their emotions, and then the young people that comes up after that is only fighting in revenge. And most of the time, when you're fighting out of revenge, you will lose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're fighting with emotion versus sitting there thinking, strategizing on what the situation that you need to do. So
My thing is,
again,
anytime they do something to us, they're not held responsible.
that is
Just like
facts.
them hangings we was talking about last week. CDC doesn't even recognize hanging as suicide. It's not even on their list of suicides. But still, every Negro that's been found hung in the last 10 years has been labeled suicide. So that means people are not being held accountable for their crimes, still right to this day. And like this one, even the president said this dude had to be arrested, and he probably wrote it up for him to be arrested, but told him, hey, let him go, just tell him to get the fuck on. I don't think
Right.
they would charge their own back then.
I mean, the government was just a baby at that time frame, but again, who
It was
cares?
a baby, but it was a government that was targeted to expel the Negroes and the Indians off the land.
True that. True that.
And where they get all them goddamn Negroes from in South Carolina? I know all you Negroes ain't come on no damn boat. Ain't no way in hell.
The massacre of the American Indian allies. Hmm.
Right. Because they used them to go down there in Florida and go, they was using them to hunt folks out. So the town
Right.
was Sheehaw Town. That was the name of it. And this man went and burned down the whole goddamn town. Just because he was mad.
Hmm.
See, look, it is right here. The event shook and angered Jackson because the Cheehaw, a faction of the larger nation of the Creek Indians, were the American allies in the First Seminole War. Just a month before Ratt's attack, General Jackson, weary soldiers had sojourned in the Cheehaw village while traveling from Tennessee to Florida. So they cool with these folk. Like these folk helped them get over. But who knows? Andrew Jackson could have probably told him to do the shit and try to act like he had nothing to do with it. I don't trust none of them motherfuckers.
That's true.
Should we have a right? Should we? We already seen what they
Hell,
have done against us.
hell no. They still trying to goddamn knock us off.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. How you gonna trust a government that didn't took your people through hell? I'm talking about since 1600s. When they ass can't even survive, they still bring Africans in here in 1619. They ass just got here in 1609. This shit don't make no sense at all.
No, not it.
Them motherfuckers
Well,
couldn't
that's
even
the
feed
that's the English though.
they couldn't
Spanish
even
was
feed
there.
they couldn't feed themselves.
Nah.
And
Talking
you
about
gonna
them
bring
But
and
I
you
mean,
gonna
you
bring
talk about you talk about the same government where slavery was legal, uh, Jim Crow laws were legal.
But it makes
Uh,
sense though. It should have been. I understand where they was coming from. If I come from king, queen, off with his head, rulership, you see what I'm saying? To
right,
where the king always had slaves and all types of shit. And then you leave that type of ruler and you come here, you acting like little lords and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you are peasants, and they started acting like where they would come from. Like you take poor people from here and take them somewhere else that's poor to them, and they gonna act like they the bougie motherfuckers from over here. I don't know why people do that, but just think that's what was going on. Their poor and their undesirables were sent here, and when they got here, they was acting as if they was high and mighty motherfuckers from over there. And
right.
that's all it was. Motherfuckers had a sense of power, seniority over folks, and felt good telling folks talk down on folks because they have been talked down to
Right.
themselves.
I know one thing that they need to tell the truth about it. Who were the first slaves to come here? Because slave is yeah.
Yeah.
But not only that is,
Slav. It comes from Slav.
Mhm.
but indigenous servants, or yeah, indigenous servants, which are. But people got to understand when you send your worst over here, they didn't send their best over here. You sent the ones that you didn't. You sent the ones that was causing the problem in England. You was like, yo, send our asses over there, man. Get them out of our here.
Right.
And then what happens? They fuckers gonna rebel against you because you didn't think they was gonna survive. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
mean,
Yeah.
a lot of that too is like, England was at war themselves with Ireland. So that's why you had a lot of prisoners of war, Irish prisoners of war, shipped over here to the United States.
Yeah, Black Irish. They don't like to say that
Yeah,
either.
you can say it.
They ain't gonna believe it, but I mean, but at the same time, we have to understand when you see them come over here, especially the ones. Think about it: the people that died, the first colonists or the so-called first colonists come, they die out. Ain't no outroar about them dying out. So that means they didn't give two shits about them. They was like, all right, send another bunch over there.
Nah,
Right.
we started feeding them folks and
No, I'm
sending
talking
them
about before
food.
that. I'm talking about before that though. I know it took them 10 years for them to actually be. You're not gonna come in my yard and think I'm gonna be all nice and goody
Nah,
goody.
we was giving them food and they got mad because we couldn't give them that much food. We could barely feed our damn self, and these motherfuckers had a high demand. Like right now, America has a high demand. The whole world works literally to feed this motherfucking place right here. We some greedy motherfuckers. We are. We got everything. We got everything.
No, but I mean, I mean, we're. It's funny. We are the center of civilization. We're the center of culture. Everybody watches us as a race of people.
That's because we put it out there to be watched.
But no, no, no. Everybody watches us because I mean, if you want to go, I mean, this is on down the road, but I mean, if people come to study how to tame us, you got, South Africa, you have
Hmm.
the Germans and what the
You said
Germans
how to
use.
tame us? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah. I'm gonna say tame. And the reason why I said tame is if you came over here and took our land, how did y'all do it? And how y'all keep them in fear? That's why I say tame. Because of the fear that we in, it's kind of like you tamed them or you keeping them in control. How do you
Well,
keep? I mean, is it not saying tame? Am I using it wrong then?
they came here and found out who was beefing with who, and they just threw fire, or they just threw gas on top of a fire. That's all the fuck they did.
So it's no different than what we do today. Then the fact is
No,
we just keep
it's a big
multiplying.
difference now. The difference now is we don't own shit now.
All right, yeah, and we don't know who the hell we are.
And we confused as fuck.
Nah, we don't know. I mean, like I said, when you come over here, if you come and there's hundreds of different factions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these different factions don't have the same land system that they have in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call it what
Not
it is, wrong. 100 different pagans. You some damn pagans. Go ahead.
like- and so when they come over here, I mean, the very first thing that you learn is that you separate people to control them.
Mm-hmm.
And so these groups are already separate because it wasn't like one unified black force. You just get in between them. This faction, you get behind that faction to attack the other faction. You just keep the cycle going, and they just kept the cycle going. They
Yeah,
divided
they did.
America just like they keep it divided now.
What was it in the 90s? East and West beef.
Right, right.
That's a damn
So
shame.
they they just keep us divided. We don't have no more sense to fight each other, and we don't understand that it doesn't happen in any other culture. You don't see Chinese fighting each other in America.
It's because it's being promoted. That's what I wanted to tell you. Y'all seen the Super Bowl halftime show?
Yeah,
Right.
Y'all remember the Kendrick Lamar song he did
yeah, we're gonna be
with
all
the
right.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be all
Oh,
right.
right. When it first come on, he said, some if the Bloods and the Crip, the Pyrus and Crips all get along,
Mm-hmm.
some they be shooting some, right? They told him he could not sing that verse. That's the very first verse of the goddamn song. He had to skip that verse to sing because that's something that they do not want.
Unification.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dr. Dre said he was so professional about it. Like, because he was like, okay. But that's fucked up. So just to say that, it shows you that they're trying to keep them two fashions divided.
But it still would get the word to get out in a sense. And then when I say that is because you'll go back and say, "Oh shit, I want to hear that song," and then you hear the real version of it.
Yeah, that's the reason why he didn't buck about it.
Because you still gonna get your word out.
To hear it over national radio in front of millions, gazillions of people, that message cannot been put out. Anything that put us in a good light. See, I was kind of upset. I'm gonna tell you why.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck positive do Crips do to be on national fucking TV? We talking about fucking Crips here. Why the fuck is my child thinking that it's cool to be a fucking Crip? Like the America agrees with my son being a fucking Crip.
Huh? I got your point there. I feel you on that one.
Snoop Dogg is Crip walking dog on fucking national TV. And we are applauding to this shit. Now remember, last year,
he dressed in the whole flag.
Last year, Rihanna didn't do the Super Bowl because of injustice to her people.
Facts.
So we forgot about that shit in one goddamn year.
We forget about everything in a year.
We still didn't get the injustice. But now we put Snoop Dogg, that's right, gang banging ass slim motherfucker on national TV to show this is a positive role model for America. Crippin'. Throwing up big C's on national TV. Fuck out of here. That was a slap in the face, a disgrace to who we are as a people. That is not every nigga don't wake up to gang bang. Niggas don't goddamn crip walk and shoot niggas every goddamn day. This shit is false narrative, 100%. And the motherfucking NFL need to be sued for the bullshit, for even promoting the bullshit. But until niggas stand up and say this, y'all gonna stop promoting us in these fucked up lights, they're gonna continue to do the shit.
Damn. I don't know what to say after that, Jerome.
That's it.
I mean, he made a strong point. He made a strong point because since we're on this topic, when you look at his videos, he ain't always dressed in blue.
Oh no, he's anytime he step out of line and they check him, what he do? Go cry, apologize. I'm sorry, but you a gangster.
Good point. All right, y'all. Good point. I'm gonna just say we're gonna stop right there because that was enough. And basically, we actually went through the first Seminole Wars. Is that the first? Is that all of the first Seminole Wars?
Yeah, we in the beginning. We missed a couple, but yeah, we stayed out from 17.
Which ones we missed?
Well, no, you added one, so yeah, we might be there.
Oh, okay.
The one in Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that one up, and I guess I'm gonna do a big one on that one because that was very, very, very large, and a lot of people don't know. Again, this is a series that we're gonna be doing, breaking down. Basically, you can say, like I said, we just went through part of the Seminole Wars. Again, what you highlighting, this is assured that this is a Negro War and not a Indian War. Because again, now they realizing who the hell we are.
Yeah, we never known that we actually fought back. That niggas even had a war against them. See, when we was told that we just came on boats, yes, massa, and Martin Luther King came and we free. That's all. That's basically your history.
False history, but
that's what they teach.
And this is where we as a people need to start understanding who we are, because we We study under a false narrative. We believe in that false narrative. We brainwashed under that false narrative, and we're gonna pass it down to our next generation. That same false.
Nah, shit. I ain't.
No, 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 no. I'm just saying because regardless, everybody's gonna challenge you and be like, okay, where you get that information from? Where you read that at? Or where did that person? This ain't what I learned in school. Not knowing you wasn't supposed to be taught this in school.
Mm-mm.
Right.
You might
You
have heard
know,
about 2 wars in school. That's it. Maybe 2.
and that's a bunch of bullshit too. But you know, let me get my last words out again. Thank y'all for coming on. Again, this is a three-headed monster, and what we're doing is a series on great indigenous. I don't want to say Indian because you need to learn and find out what indigenous rebellions are or indigenous people, which is us. Stop using this slave narrative to make you seem like millions of us came on a damn boat when it's not true. If we can prove it to you, we don't prove it to you. If you're not, check out our. Go ahead and go back and look at some of our videos on YouTube under the Three Headed Monster podcast. If you want to, you could even check out what Crew Cut got because Crew Cut was doing a lot of stuff, and Crew Cut happened to see our video. You know, was this about a year ago?
Yeah, probably year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, so if it
About
did
2 years.
we had to be doing something because when he was what was the name of that no grandma's killers was it
Mm-hmm.
that was big. So the platform is we are trying to do our best to educate, period. We're not trying to put out conspiracy theories because most of the time conspiracy theories are actually really true shit. Oh shit. Damn.
You froze again? You dropped the whole computer? I think he dropped that joint.
I don't know what's going on with B tonight. We we had to get him a new setup. But yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
basically at the end of the day,
Go ahead.
man, we just gotta stop believing everything. I wouldn't even say that. I think we right now at this time, we need to figure out a way to, I don't know, we gotta stop this intake of false information. I don't know
Right.
how, but like the stuff that they promoting to us, we gotta figure out a way to stop intaking it. We have to figure out a way to block it.
I mean, yeah, that would be a great idea. But I mean, there's information overload, and most of the time, most people are getting false information all the time, and you get a little bit of truth, more false information,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the plan. Keep you bombarded with it. Uh, okay, B just shot me a text that his computer shut down. So we'll go ahead and close it up. You got anything you want to say, Coach?
No, just stop. We just gotta stop going on with the trends. The trends is gonna be the death of us.
I agree with you on that. Well, we're closing saying keep searching for the truth, keep digging for the truth. Start to embrace who you really are. Uh, other than that, we'll see you next week. Peace.
We just gotta stop going on.
B, you come back. We done close the show. You can shut down the line.
Oh,
Crew cut already left.
damn it. All right, peace, y'all. Peace.
Peace.